Why is it that the well-intentioned advice to just think positive so often feels like a searing brand rather than a soothing balm? Indeed, why does the relentless pursuit of happiness frequently exacerbate existing wounds instead of facilitating their healing? Centuries ago, the sagacious Marcus Aurelius cautioned us, declaring that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. However, regrettably, we have contorted his profound wisdom into vacuous affirmations and manufactured smiles, essentially stripping it of its inherent depth. Herein lies the disquieting Stoic truth: your mind, far from being a sanctuary of ease, is fundamentally engineered for survival. It is meticulously wired to amplify apprehensions and relentlessly replay anxieties. This relentless cycle continues until you find yourself ensnared within a self-perpetuated vortex of pain, a construct of your own unwitting creation. But consider this: what if true fortitude lies not in feigning contentment, but rather in the courageous act of confronting the shadows from which you have been fleeing throughout your entire existence? What if embracing the darker aspects of our inner selves is the key to unlocking genuine resilience? Today, I intend to impart to you a potent Stoic insight. This perspective directly challenges every superficial concept of positivity that has been peddled to you. Once you genuinely comprehend this principle, your perception of yourself, and indeed your struggles, will be irrevocably transformed. Your thoughts are not innocuous murmurs, fleeting and inconsequential. Rather, they are formidable architects, meticulously shaping the reality you inhabit, moment by moment. Each thought, whether positive or negative, contributes to the intricate tapestry of your lived experience. Therefore, cultivating mindful awareness of your thought patterns becomes paramount in navigating the complexities of existence. It is rather peculiar, isn't it, how we often disregard that quiet voice within, dismissing it as mere, innocuous prattle. We rarely grasp the profound truth that this very voice, seemingly so harmless, actually delineates the very frontiers of our potential. The venerable Stoics of antiquity were acutely aware of this intricate dynamic. Indeed, Marcus Aurelius, that wise emperor and philosopher, once proclaimed, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Contemplate that for a moment. The very bedrock of your happiness and the attainment of success in your life are not contingent upon external circumstances, not at all. Rather, they are intrinsically linked to the manner in which you construct and interpret those circumstances within the intricate landscape of your mind. Therefore, cultivating a positive and resilient mindset is crucial for navigating life's inevitable challenges. Envision, if you will, awakening with an unwavering conviction that your day is predestined for utter failure. You have already meticulously rehearsed the scenario of defeat within the theater of your mind, even before the first rays of dawn have kissed the horizon. Consequently, you are, in essence, setting yourself up for a self-fulfilling prophecy of disappointment. You are living out a narrative meticulously scripted by your fears and anxieties, a story that bears little resemblance to your genuine capability and inherent potential. The crux of the matter lies in the uncomfortable truth that most of us seldom pause to scrutinize these deeply ingrained internal narratives. We, with a certain naive assumption, accept our perceptions as objective reality, utterly oblivious to the powerful influence our mindset exerts upon them. The eminent Carl Jung, a pioneer in the field of psychology, once wisely remarked, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." How frequently have you, in moments of frustration or disappointment, laid the blame at the feet of circumstance, or perhaps even fate itself? You have attributed negative outcomes to forces beyond your control, all the while failing to recognize that your own mind, in its quiet and insidious way, silently engineered the very outcome you lament. This can be a difficult pill to swallow, as it demands a level of self-awareness and personal responsibility that many are unwilling to embrace. Your thoughts, you see, are not merely passive observers, quietly flitting through the corridors of your mind. On the contrary, they are actively and powerfully shaping the very fabric of your reality. They are the architects of your experience, the sculptors of your destiny. Recognizing this profound truth is the first step towards taking control of your life and unlocking your true potential. However, the truly exhilarating revelation lies in this: if your thoughts possess such extraordinary influence, doesn't it logically follow that you, too, possess the capacity to fundamentally transform your existence? Imagine, if you will, that instead of awakening with a sense of resignation to face a commonplace day, you deliberately elected to reconstruct your inner narrative. What if you commenced each morning by resolutely affirming to yourself that irrespective of the events that may transpire, you are endowed with the inherent fortitude, unwavering resilience, and crystalline clarity to effectively manage them? Seneca, that other sagacious Stoic philosopher, articulated it with remarkable precision when he stated, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Reflect upon this deeply. How many of your anxieties and setbacks exist solely within the confines of your own mind, mere phantoms that you have painstakingly projected onto the very walls of your inner sanctum? By recognizing the profound power that your mind wields, you can effectively reassert dominion over your personal narrative, meticulously rewriting it into a compelling saga of unwavering purpose and indomitable strength. Deliberate upon this with unwavering attention, your mind is emphatically not a haphazard generator of random occurrences. Rather, it is akin to a meticulously tended garden that you can actively cultivate with devoted care. If left unattended and neglected, noxious weeds of insidious doubt and pervasive negativity will inexorably overrun the landscape of your thoughts. Conversely, should you diligently plant the life-affirming seeds of unyielding courage, boundless optimism, and unwavering determination, those are precisely the resplendent blossoms that will undoubtedly bloom, transforming your inner world into a vibrant sanctuary of positivity and resilience. Thus, by consciously choosing our thoughts, we actively shape our reality and unlock our full potential for a life filled with purpose, strength, and joy. Modern psychology offers compelling support for this observation, specifically through the concept of cognitive reframing. This powerful technique involves consciously altering your perspective on challenges and setbacks, transforming them from perceived threats into burgeoning opportunities. It's crucial to understand that this isn't about naive or forced positivity, rather, it represents a deliberate and empowering act of mental discipline. Indeed, it echoes the ancient Stoic practice of regarding obstacles not as insurmountable barriers, but as invaluable stepping stones propelling us toward personal and professional growth. Therefore, the next time you become aware of yourself spiraling into a vortex of negativity, I urge you to pause momentarily. Take a breath and consciously recognize your thoughts for what they truly are: choices. The eminent philosopher Epictetus wisely articulated this truth when he said, "People are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." Consider this profound insight: life isn't simply happening to you as a passive observer. Instead, you are actively and continuously interpreting the events and circumstances unfolding around you. Therefore, consciously choose interpretations that serve to strengthen you, that ignite inspiration and proactive action rather than triggering paralysis and despair. Once you genuinely grasp the incredible, almost limitless potential that resides within your own mind, you will inevitably realize that the power you seek was never external or elusive. It was always there, residing within you, patiently waiting for you to acknowledge its existence and to learn how to harness its transformative energy. Your thoughts, in essence, sculpt and mold your reality. Therefore, shape them with utmost care, with deliberate intention, and with unwavering bravery. Have you ever paused to contemplate why some individuals seem to navigate life's intricate tapestry of challenges with an air of effortless grace and resilience, while others perpetually struggle, seemingly trapped in repetitive cycles of worry, anxiety, and negativity? What distinguishes these two groups, and what lessons can we glean from their differing experiences? The answer, in large part, lies in their relationship with their own thoughts and the conscious choices they make about how to interpret the world around them. The chasm separating those who excel from those who merely exist isn't a matter of capricious luck or innate talent, rather, it resides in the meticulous manner in which they have cultivated their minds. Marcus Aurelius, the illustrious Stoic emperor and profound philosopher, grasped this fundamental truth with unwavering clarity. He eloquently stated, "You possess dominion over your own mind, not over external occurrences." Comprehend this profound principle, and you shall discover unyielding strength. Your mindset transcends the realm of a mere, ephemeral motivational concept. Instead, it serves as the central control hub of your entire existence, orchestrating your actions and shaping your reality. Envision awakening tomorrow morning, not burdened by the lingering fog of sleep or the overwhelming dread of an endless cascade of tasks, but imbued with a genuine sense of unwavering confidence, prepared to adeptly navigate the multifaceted challenges that life invariably presents. Imagine articulating to yourself, with resolute conviction, today, "Yes, I absolutely have this under control. I am not merely surviving this day, I am resolutely determined to thrive and flourish." Undoubtedly, in the initial stages, this may feel somewhat unnatural, perhaps even artificially imposed. However, allow me to impart something profoundly powerful. Every monumental achievement in recorded history originated as a nascent idea within the fertile landscape of someone's mind. They meticulously visualized success with remarkable clarity and unwavering intensity, firmly believing in its inherent possibility, and subsequently, they meticulously aligned their actions to transform that vision into tangible reality. Henry Ford, a pioneer of industry, aptly encapsulated this sentiment when he asserted, "Whether you think you can, or you think you cannot, you are invariably correct." This statement underscores the profound influence of belief on the attainment of goals. Now, let us be unequivocally clear, embracing a positive mindset is emphatically not about deceiving yourself into the naive belief that life will perpetually unfold as a seamless and tranquil voyage. Rather, it is fundamentally about fundamentally reshaping and recalibrating your inherent responses when the inevitable tempests of adversity and tribulation arise. In essence, it is about cultivating resilience and adaptability in the face of challenges. Thus, you are prepared to navigate the inherent uncertainties of life with grace and fortitude. The Stoic philosophers, paragons of resilience and wisdom, regarded difficulties not as mere hindrances, but rather as invaluable teachers, essential for growth and self-discovery. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoics, once articulated this profound truth, stating, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." This assertion underscores the Stoic belief that challenges are not meant to break us, but to forge us into stronger, more capable individuals. Consider for a moment those individuals you deeply admire, those whose achievements seem almost effortless. It is easy to assume their path was paved with roses, yet the reality is often far more complex. Each and every one of them has undoubtedly confronted setbacks, experienced profound disappointments, and even tasted the bitter sting of failure, frequently on multiple occasions. However, their remarkable success was not rooted in the avoidance of these hardships. Instead, their triumph stemmed from a resolute, unwavering decision, a determination never to remain defeated. They embraced each setback as a learning opportunity, adapting their strategies, refining their skills, and emerging from the crucible of adversity stronger and more resilient than before. Furthermore, the esteemed psychologist Carl Jung eloquently highlighted this internal battle, this constant struggle to define oneself in the face of adversity, when he proclaimed, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." This profound statement serves as a potent reminder that our circumstances do not irrevocably define us. Rather, it is our mindset, our perspective, and our conscious choices that ultimately shape our identity and determine our destiny. Therefore, instead of perceiving yourself as a passive victim, helplessly buffeted by the capricious winds of life's randomness, begin to envision yourself as an active architect, a master builder capable of shaping your own reality. Embrace the empowering notion that you possess the agency to choose how to interpret events, how to respond to challenges, and ultimately, how to construct your own narrative. Flipping the script, shifting your perspective, is not merely a catchy phrase or a trendy buzzword. It represents a deliberate choice, a conscious and empowering decision to rewrite the narrative that guides your daily life. It is the realization that you are the author of your own story, not simply a character within someone else's. And here is the truly remarkable, even exhilarating, aspect of transforming your mindset: it possesses an almost magical, contagious quality. When you cultivate a positive, resilient, and proactive attitude, you not only empower yourself but also inspire those around you. Your newfound perspective can ripple outwards, influencing the thoughts and actions of others, creating a virtuous cycle of positivity and empowerment. Once you truly begin to believe in your capabilities, a remarkable transformation unfolds, and your actions naturally reflect this newfound conviction. Your very energy undergoes a palpable shift, becoming more vibrant and purposeful. Consequently, the people around you invariably notice this change and, in turn, respond in a profoundly different manner. Opportunities, previously hidden or inaccessible, begin to materialize, opening pathways that were once obscured. Life itself, in a way that seems almost magical, yet is entirely logical, starts to align more closely with your optimistic and positive outlook. This is because your inner world, your beliefs, and your mindset, inevitably shape your outer reality, influencing your experiences and interactions with the world. Seneca, another wise Stoic philosopher, famously stated, "It is not because things are difficult that we dare not venture. It is because we dare not venture that they are difficult." This profound observation highlights the crucial role of courage and initiative. Therefore, the moment you deliberately choose confidence over debilitating doubt, and embrace courage instead of succumbing to paralyzing fear, you unlock a reservoir of potential that you may not have even realized existed within you. Your mindset, at that pivotal moment, becomes the catalyst, the driving force that propels you forward, transforming abstract ideas into tangible achievements and turning ephemeral dreams into concrete realities. This is where true power resides. So, tomorrow morning, as your feet first touch the floor, firmly remind yourself, with conviction and unwavering resolve, you have got this. No matter what challenges the day may present, no matter what unexpected obstacles may arise, you are not simply going to passively face the day. Instead, you are going to actively own it, to embrace it with enthusiasm, and to shape it according to your will. You are the master of your destiny, the architect of your own success. Every single morning, without exception, you are standing at a crossroads, a point of decision that will determine the course of your day, and ultimately, the trajectory of your life. While this pivotal moment may not always feel obvious or dramatic, it is undeniably there, a silent invitation to choose your path and to create your future. It is a choice between fear and faith, between inaction and action, between doubt and determination. Every day is a new beginning, an opportunity to rewrite your story and to live a life filled with purpose and passion. It is in that crucial, fleeting instant that we face a pivotal choice: either succumb to the pull of trepidation or resolutely stride forward with unwavering self-assurance. As Seneca, the renowned Roman philosopher, astutely observed centuries ago, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Indeed, it is a profound truth that our fears often reside solely within the confines of our own minds. These fears manifest as vivid, yet ultimately illusory, barriers that prevent us from realizing our full potential and attaining the goals we are truly capable of achieving. It is undeniably tempting to indulge these anxieties, providing them with sustenance and allowing them to take hold, thereby solidifying their power over us. However, let us pause for a moment and envision the transformative impact on your existence if you were to actively starve those nagging doubts and, conversely, meticulously cultivate your inner reservoir of courage. Imagine the possibilities that would unfold, the opportunities that would present themselves, and the sense of liberation you would experience. Let us be candid for a moment. Life, in its inherent complexity, will not suddenly transform into a seamless and effortless journey. Negativity, like an unwelcome guest, will invariably find its way to your doorstep, knocking persistently and relentlessly, hoping to gain entry and influence your thoughts and actions. It will attempt to lure you with familiar refrains, such as, "You're not ready for this challenge," or, "This endeavor is simply too arduous for you to undertake." However, here lies the remarkable and empowering truth: you possess the inherent power to resist this insidious influence. You have the capacity to interrupt that negative voice mid-sentence, to challenge its validity in that very instant. Instead of succumbing to the defeatist sentiment of, "I cannot handle this situation," consciously reframe your perspective. Declare to yourself, with unwavering conviction, "I have confronted far more formidable challenges in the past, and I emerged from those experiences stronger and more resilient. Therefore, I am more than capable of navigating this present obstacle. Indeed, I possess the capability to manage this task effectively." While seemingly uncomplicated, the profound influence of reshaping one's thoughts should not be underestimated. Your mind attentively processes the information you consistently provide it. Carl Jung, a renowned figure, emphasized the remarkable impact of our mental attitude, articulating, "I am not defined by the events that have transpired in my life, rather, I am defined by the person I actively choose to evolve into." Consequently, each individual thought you nurture contributes to the formation of your evolving self. Consider your self-assurance as analogous to a muscle. Every affirmative, empowering thought serves to fortify it. Each instance wherein you deliberately substitute apprehension with unwavering belief, doubt with resolute determination, you are, in essence, training your cognitive functions. You are forging novel neural pathways that guide you toward resilience rather than succumbing to defeat. As time progresses, these pathways become your inherent disposition, your automatic reaction to stimuli. Abruptly, that which previously evoked trepidation transforms into something manageable, and even exhilarating. Nevertheless, let us acknowledge the reality that instigating this transformation is not without its challenges. It necessitates unwavering intention and steadfast consistency. Marcus Aurelius, a sagacious philosopher, comprehended this unequivocally when he penned, "The prerequisites for a contented existence are minimal, they reside entirely within oneself, within one's mode of thinking." Each day presents you with a multitude of opportunities to reaffirm your self-confidence. Seize these moments to nurture your inner strength, and you will be amazed at the positive changes that unfold. Remember, the power to shape your reality lies within your thoughts. So, choose them wisely and cultivate a mindset that empowers you to conquer any challenge. This journey of self-improvement is a continuous process, but the rewards of increased confidence and resilience are immeasurable. Embrace the challenge, and watch yourself transform into the person you aspire to be. It commences subtly, perhaps with a courageous utterance during a conference, embracing an assignment you have been deliberately sidestepping, or engaging in that challenging dialogue you have indefinitely delayed. Each minuscule triumph accumulates, gradually expanding your innate wellspring of bravery and bolstering your conviction that you possess greater fortitude than any impediment you encounter. Thus, these seemingly insignificant acts of valor coalesce into a formidable foundation of inner strength. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers, possessed yet another profound comprehension: our emotional responses reside within our sphere of influence, irrespective of the uncontrollable nature of external events. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic thinker, elucidated that the essence lies not in the occurrences themselves, but rather in our subsequent reactions. Therefore, every occurrence, every trial, every adversity has the potential to either nourish your apprehensions or cultivate your resilience. The decision rests solely with you. Will you languish upon the potential for misfortune, thereby relinquishing your authority to trepidation and uncertainty? Or will you resolve, with unwavering determination, to concentrate upon your proficiencies, your prior achievements, and your demonstrated tenacity? Consequently, the choice is a pivotal juncture in shaping your perception of self-efficacy. Your mental consumption dictates your ultimate fate. A multitude of individuals dedicates numerous hours weekly to the enhancement of their physical form, through activities such as weightlifting, distance running, and meticulous caloric monitoring. However, When was the most recent instance in which you subjected your intellect to an equivalent regimen of rigorous discipline? In light of this disparity, it becomes evident that mental fortitude often receives inadequate attention in comparison to physical conditioning. Therefore, consider allocating time to cultivate your mental landscape with the same assiduousness you devote to sculpting your physique. It's quite curious how society often places a greater emphasis on physical aesthetics, like a well-defined six-pack, than on the profound importance of mental clarity, resilience, or inner peace. However, it's the mind that reigns supreme, the very muscle that orchestrates every other facet of our being. If our mental fortitude is lacking, even the most sculpted physique or the most idyllic life circumstances will ultimately prove inconsequential. Indeed, even Marcus Aurelius, while burdened with the immense responsibility of leading an empire, still found solace in writing to himself. He wisely observed that, the things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. In essence, the thoughts that consistently occupy our minds are actively sculpting the very essence of who we become. Consider this practical suggestion, a small change that can make a huge difference. Before plunging headfirst into the inevitable chaos of the day, before being bombarded by the incessant noise, the endless emails, and the tempting doom scrolling, simply pause for just 1 minute. Gaze upon your own reflection in the mirror and utter something genuinely positive, something rooted in sincere intention, not empty platitudes for show. Affirmations like, "I am enough. I've got what it takes. I don't have to prove anything to anyone today." Does it sound a little foolish? Perhaps, especially if you aren't accustomed to addressing yourself with kindness and compassion. But, take heart, this initial awkwardness is merely temporary. The inner strength you cultivate through this practice, that is permanent. As the renowned Carl Jung once wisely stated, you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Therefore, if you earnestly desire confidence, don't merely wish for it to magically appear. Instead, actively build it, brick by brick, with consistent, intentional effort. This brings us to the crucial role of repetition. Consistent action, repeated over time, is undeniably the key. Much like dedicating yourself to a rigorous gym routine, your thoughts also require consistent and intentional practice. Think of it as mental weightlifting, where each repetition strengthens your mind. Specifically, positive and deliberate repetitions are key. Every instance where you consciously choose gratitude in place of frustration becomes a valuable mental exercise. Further, each time you purposefully pause to re-evaluate a challenge, rather than reacting impulsively, you are actively conditioning your mind. These seemingly small moments are not insignificant. They accumulate steadily over time, gradually reshaping your automatic, default reactions. Consequently, you transition from a state of spiraling downwards into negative thoughts to proactively seeking solutions. Similarly, you evolve from a place of self-doubt to confidently making decisions. It's a transformation that empowers you. However, it is important to temper expectations and avoid aiming for unattainable perfection. There will undoubtedly be days when you falter and miss the mark. Accept this as a normal part of the process. Remember that the Stoic philosophers, renowned for their wisdom, never sought to completely eliminate emotion. Instead, their focus was on effectively managing and channeling it. The insightful Epictetus wisely reminded us that, no man is free who is not master of himself. This mastery, crucial for personal liberation, doesn't arise from avoiding difficulty and challenges. On the contrary, it stems from consistently returning to your mental training, especially during periods when things feel unsettling or off. It is precisely in those pivotal moments, when your emotions surge and fear stealthily creeps in, that the cumulative effect of your mental repetitions truly pays off. Suddenly, the training kicks in automatically, almost like muscle memory. You consciously take a deep breath, choosing a thoughtful and measured response over a knee-jerk reaction. In essence, you choose power and control over panic and disarray. The beauty of this mental conditioning is that you can begin with incredibly small, manageable steps. Consider incorporating 10 deep, calming breaths into your morning routine. Alternatively, dedicate a single line in a journal to expressing gratitude, perhaps writing, "Here's what I'm grateful for today." Another simple yet powerful technique is to recite a quiet affirmation to yourself before a particularly challenging meeting, reminding yourself of your strengths and capabilities. These small acts, consistently practiced, can have a profound and transformative effect on your mental well-being. You are not cultivating a whimsical illusion, instead, you are diligently forging mental fortitude. Much like the physical body, it is the unwavering daily commitment, the consistent practice, that sculpts you into a stronger individual. It is not merely the sporadic bursts of fleeting motivation that define your progress. The ancient philosopher Seneca articulated this concept masterfully when he proclaimed, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Therefore, consider mental training as your dedicated preparation. When life inevitably hurls unexpected challenges your way, as it undoubtedly will, you will not crumble under the pressure. Instead, you will confront the adversity with a remarkable sense of serenity and composure that will likely astound even yourself. This newfound resilience is not because the tempestuous storm has miraculously vanished, rather, it is because you have been diligently training for precisely such moments all along. Dedicate yourself to training your mind as if your very existence hinges upon it, because, in numerous significant ways, it truly does. This is not an overstatement. Your mental well-being is inextricably linked to your overall success and happiness. Have you ever observed how the sensation of belief can feel incredibly potent, almost invincible, until the precise moment arrives when you must translate that belief into tangible action? That is the critical chasm, the perilous divide, where the vast majority of individuals find themselves hopelessly ensnared. They dare to dream grandly, meticulously documenting their intentions in journals, and they may even passionately articulate their aspirations to others. However, they often falter when it comes to taking that initial, often uncomfortable, step towards realization. And that very first step. That is the precise juncture where genuine transformation commences. As the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." In simpler terms, cease the endless deliberation and start actively engaging in the pursuit of your goals. And here is a fundamental truth, a principle that should be etched into your consciousness: decisive action invariably vanquishes fear. Every single time. Doubt and apprehension may linger in the shadows, but the act of moving forward, of taking concrete steps, dispels them like sunlight chasing away the darkness. Therefore, embrace the power of action, and watch as your fears diminish and your confidence blossoms. Confronting your fears, even incrementally, weakens their power over you. It's not sorcery, it's the power of exposure. The Stoic philosophers, a wisdom tradition dating back centuries, championed this concept through what they termed voluntary discomfort. Their rationale was profound: deliberately subject yourself to discomfort, and you will become accustomed to it, rendering it less daunting when it inevitably arises unexpectedly. The esteemed Epictetus, a pivotal figure in Stoicism, wisely proclaimed, "First, articulate to yourself the person you aspire to be, and subsequently, undertake the actions necessary to embody that vision." A concept straightforward in its articulation, yet undoubtedly challenging in its execution. Therefore, you don't require an elaborate, 10-step blueprint to embark on your journey. Instead, what you truly need is a resolute decision, a single, perhaps imperfect, action that resonates deeply with your core values and your overarching vision. This is the genesis of momentum: a solitary push, a single phone call, one thoughtfully crafted email, a determined attempt. Abruptly, you transcend inertia, you are no longer standing motionless. Suddenly, belief transcends mere intellectual assent, it becomes tangible, manifesting within your grasp. Consequently, persist in your visualizations, continue affirming your aspirations, but, more crucially, take definitive action. Allow your belief to permeate your actions, to inhabit the choices you make each and every day. Because when you commence behaving as the person you genuinely aspire to be, a profound transformation occurs. You cease perpetually seeking external validation or authorization. You liberate yourself from the confines of self-doubt, and, often without conscious awareness, you evolve into the very embodiment of the transformative power of belief fortified by action. Indeed, let's be candid, how many aspirations, how many ambitions, remain languishing in a state of suspended animation in your life, simply because you are awaiting the elusive sensation of everything feeling right. This feeling right is often a mirage, a phantom barrier erected by our own anxieties. We must dare to leap, to act, even when trepidation lingers. It is in that very act of courage that we discover the strength to overcome our fears and realize our fullest potential. That elusive, almost mythical, instant when motivation suddenly strikes, when crystalline clarity emerges from the fog, when all the celestial bodies seemingly orchestrate a perfect alignment. The unvarnished truth, however, is that this so-called magical moment is largely a fabrication. And even if it were to materialize, it rarely deigns to grace us with its presence precisely when we find ourselves most in need of its invigorating force. The esteemed Seneca, a philosopher of profound wisdom, articulated this truth with remarkable brevity: while we patiently await the arrival of life, ironically, slips silently through our fingers. You are not languishing in a state of inertia because of a deficiency in inherent potential. Instead, your stagnation stems from an insidious habit of perpetual postponement, a constant deferral of action. Perfection, in its unattainable form, is nothing more than a deceptive mirage, a carefully constructed lie whispered into your ear by the insidious voice of fear. It implores you to tarry, to patiently wait until you deem yourself adequately prepared, until an elusive surge of unwavering confidence washes over you, until the celestial timing is deemed impeccably opportune. However, the stark reality is that life does not bestow its rewards upon those who dally in the wings, rather, it favors those who embrace decisiveness and embark upon a clearly defined trajectory. Even a tentative, faltering first step, fraught with uncertainty, is infinitely more advantageous than remaining rooted to the spot, paralyzed by apprehension. Carl Jung, the pioneering psychoanalyst, once poignantly wrote, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of the parents." Yet, this weighty burden does not simply evaporate upon reaching adulthood, it lingers, a persistent shadow lurking in the periphery of our existence. Each and every time you consciously suppress your own unique voice, each and every time you succumb to hesitation instead of diligently constructing and creating, you are not merely postponing the completion of a mundane task. No, you are, in effect, postponing the emergence of a more evolved, more actualized version of yourself, a self that is poised and ready to embrace transformation. Momentum, in its purest form, is akin to a form of enchantment. It does not demand absolute certainty as a prerequisite, it merely requires the initial spark of ignition, a catalyst to set the process in motion. And once you have committed to the act of moving, once you have overcome the initial inertia, your mind, with remarkable adaptability, will gradually catch up, aligning itself with the forward trajectory you have established. Thus, begin. Act. And allow the power of momentum to carry you forward. What once loomed large and felt utterly overwhelming is now beginning to diminish, to shrink into something manageable. You cultivate genuine confidence not through mere contemplation or wishful thinking, instead, you forge it through diligent action, through persistent doing and then, crucially, doing again. The esteemed Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself of a profound truth: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That very obstacle you've been consciously avoiding, that challenge you've been postponing. It isn't a roadblock, rather, it's your true starting line, the genesis of your progress. Therefore, cease handing fear the microphone, silencing your inner voice of courage. Stop allowing your excuses to have the final, decisive word. You don't require yet another meticulously crafted plan. You don't need the elusive promise of more time stretching out before you. What you truly need is to act right now, in this very moment. Even if the action seems insignificant, even if it's remarkably small, especially if it's small, take that first step. That message you've been intending to send, the one you've been putting off. Send it without further delay. That brilliant idea you've been sitting on, nurturing in your mind. Draft it, give it form and substance. That transformative change you've been imagining, the one you've been dreaming of. Begin it today, embark on that journey. Today, this very day, is the only tangible reality, not the elusive, someday, you continuously fantasize about. And with every decisive action you take, you chip away at the invisible chains holding you back, liberating yourself from constraint. Fear gradually loses its power, doubt becomes less insistent, quieter, and you, in turn, become demonstrably stronger, more resilient. You don't require permission from anyone, you already possess the key to unlock your potential. Now, seize it and use it without hesitation. There exists something undeniably strange, perhaps even unsettling, about the way we, as a society, treat failure. It's as though it were a contagious disease, a virulent strain, as if merely brushing up against it will somehow infect everything we touch with the insidious taint of shame. However, failure isn't some lurking monster, a terrifying beast to be feared and avoided at all costs. Instead, it's a mirror, reflecting back at you an honest, unfiltered image. And if you possess the courage to look into it, to truly examine it with unflinching honesty, it will reveal to you exactly where you need to grow, highlighting the precise areas that require further development and refinement. It's an opportunity for learning and self-improvement, a chance to emerge stronger and wiser. The Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a profound thinker, once penned these insightful words: "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." His observation strikes at the heart of how we perceive setbacks and challenges. Indeed, a vast number of individuals do not truly fear failure itself. Instead, their apprehension stems from the perceived implications of failure, what they believe it reveals about their character, their capabilities, and their inherent worth. To illustrate this point, consider the experience of learning to ride a bicycle as a child. The learning process was undoubtedly fraught with challenges. There were tumbles, scraped knees, and perhaps even tears shed along the way. Yet, despite these setbacks, you persevered and climbed back onto the bike. But why? Because, in those formative years, failure was not viewed as a definitive end. It was, rather, an anticipated and accepted aspect of the learning journey. Children do not internalize failure as a personal indictment, they understand it as simply part of the deal. However, somewhere along life's winding path, this resilient mindset often fades. We begin to interpret failure as irrefutable evidence of our brokenness, our inadequacy, our unworthiness. But this interpretation is fundamentally flawed. Failure is none of those things. Instead, it is invaluable feedback. It is life's subtle, yet direct, way of communicating: try a different approach. The renowned psychoanalyst, Carl Jung, eloquently stated, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." Profound growth rarely occurs within the confines of comfort zones. Instead, it emerges from friction, from the inevitable falls, and from the subsequent bounce back. Each mistake etched into our experience becomes a page in our personal manual, a guide to navigating future challenges. Every misstep is a breadcrumb, leading us towards a more profound and nuanced understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Therefore, the true skill lies not in avoiding failure altogether, an impossibility in life's unpredictable journey. The key lies in failing forward. This means embracing intentional failure, approaching challenges with open eyes and with the ego firmly in check. By adopting this approach, failures transform from debilitating setbacks into invaluable stepping stones toward growth, resilience, and ultimately, success. We must learn to view them not as reflections of our inherent worth, but as opportunities for learning, adaptation, and personal evolution. Embrace the discomfort, embrace the feedback, and embrace the journey of continuous improvement. The Stoics, far from merely tolerating failure, embraced it as a vital component of growth. Seneca, the eminent Stoic philosopher, profoundly believed that adversity served as nourishment for the soul, famously stating, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Therefore, when faced with setbacks and challenging circumstances, the Stoic approach dictates that one should not retreat into despair or self-pity. Instead, reflection is key. One must delve deeper and pose the more challenging question, shifting the focus from a victimized, "Why me?" to an inquisitive, "What is this experience here to teach me?" This seemingly small alteration in perspective fundamentally transforms the entire narrative. Suddenly, one transcends the role of a passive victim of unfortunate circumstances and ascends to the position of an active student of life, eager to learn from every experience, positive or negative. Failure, in this light, cultivates qualities that success, in its unadulterated form, could never possibly instill. These invaluable attributes include resilience, the ability to bounce back from hardship, humility, a recognition of one's limitations, and perspective, a broadened understanding of the world and one's place within it. Consequently, you begin to perceive that failing, rather than diminishing your worth, actually enhances it. It renders you more aware of your weaknesses, more capable of overcoming challenges, and more refined in your approach to life's complexities. And once you internalize this profound realization, failure ceases to be a source of fear and transforms into an object of respect. Each stumble, each fall, each apparent misstep serves as a formative experience, shaping you into a stronger, more resilient individual than you were yesterday. So, the next time events do not unfold according to your desires or expectations, resist the urge to flee or conceal yourself from the discomfort. Instead, embrace the experience, sit with it, extract the valuable lesson it offers, make necessary adjustments, and continue to move forward. Remember that failure is not the antithesis of progress, it is, in fact, an integral part of the path towards it. Let us now dispel the common misconception that surrounds failure. The vast majority of individuals do not fail due to some inherent lack of luck or fortune. Instead, they fail because they perpetually await the arrival of luck, passively hoping for external forces to deliver them to success. They remain stagnant, unwilling to confront challenges head-on and learn from their inevitable mistakes. Therefore, active engagement, resilience, and a willingness to learn from failure are far more crucial than mere luck in achieving meaningful progress. Embrace the challenges, learn from the stumbles, and actively shape your own destiny. Authentic success, the kind that truly resonates, rarely manifests in a whirlwind of fleeting viral moments or through some elusive, top-secret formula. Instead, it's meticulously constructed in the quietude of sustained effort, through the unwavering repetition of essential tasks, and by consistently showing up, even when the auditorium is empty and the applause is absent. The esteemed Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, astutely observed, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." This profound statement encapsulates the very essence of discipline, the resolute commitment to performing the correct action, repeatedly and consistently, even when it proves inconvenient, even when you think no one is observing your efforts. In contemporary society, we find ourselves immersed in a culture excessively preoccupied with the allure of instantaneous victories and rapid gains. However, genuine progress, the kind that yields lasting results, remains indifferent to the superficial notion of speed. Its true measure lies in unwavering consistency. Small, seemingly insignificant actions, when diligently repeated over extended periods, possess the remarkable ability to compound exponentially. Consider that brief, 10-minute workout you squeeze into your day, or the book from which you read a single chapter each night, or that pivotal moment when you consciously choose the path of discipline over the tempting allure of distraction. These seemingly inconsequential choices, accumulated over time, gradually coalesce, ultimately shaping your very identity. The eminent Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, Carl Jung, articulated this concept with compelling force, stating, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." It is your actions, not your fleeting intentions, that meticulously construct the edifice of your future. It's crucial to understand that this isn't about relentlessly grinding every single second of every single day, pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion. Instead, it's about revering and honoring those quiet, often unspoken commitments you make to yourself. It's about summoning the strength to wake up early, even when the siren song of a cozy bed beckons you to sleep in. It's about tenaciously finishing what you started, even when the initial surge of motivation has long since dissipated. It's about making the conscious choice to hydrate your body with refreshing water instead of mindlessly scrolling through the endless digital feed. These are the small victories that, in the aggregate, define true success. That's precisely where the cutting edge resides. That's the very genesis of profound transformation. The esteemed Seneca once articulated, "Luck is merely the serendipitous intersection of meticulous preparation and opportune moments." Consequently, one mustn't passively await their designated opportunity. Instead, unwavering readiness is paramount when that opportunity inevitably presents itself. And this vital readiness? It is meticulously cultivated through consistent daily routines, through seemingly insignificant habits that, in actuality, possess enormous cumulative significance. Regrettably, the vast majority of individuals will never truly grasp this fundamental principle. They will persistently seek out elusive hacks and convenient shortcuts, perpetually chasing fleeting solutions. But you, possessing greater insight, understand the inherent truth: success does not merely pay a casual visit to the fortunate, rather, it steadfastly abides with those who exhibit unwavering discipline. Therefore, embark on this transformative journey by selecting just one habit, a single, carefully chosen discipline. Render it absolutely non-negotiable, diligently master it, and then progressively build upon it, brick by meticulous brick. This is the foundational process by which you forge a life that is not precariously dependent on the capricious whims of luck, but instead resolutely rests on your own inherent capabilities and steadfast dedication. Have you ever observed the inherent ease with which one can merely, kinda, desire something? To tentatively dip one foot into the metaphorical water, while cautiously maintaining the other firmly planted on the safety of the shore, just in case unforeseen circumstances arise. This approach might superficially feel safe, even seemingly sensible. However, this is demonstrably not the catalyst for authentic transformation. Rather, it is the very mechanism by which individuals remain perpetually trapped in states of inertia and stagnation. The eminent Carl Jung once profoundly stated, "People will readily embrace any course of action, irrespective of its inherent absurdity, to actively avoid confronting the depths of their own soul." Therefore, half-hearted commitment is essentially just that, a calculated avoidance of the deeper, more daunting truth regarding the genuine sacrifices and unwavering dedication that are fundamentally necessary to enact meaningful and lasting change. It's a dance of self-deception, a carefully constructed facade to shield oneself from the vulnerability and potential discomfort that invariably accompany genuine personal evolution. The vast majority of people don't meet with failure due to a lack of inherent ability. Rather, their downfall stems from a fundamental failure to truly commit and make a decisive choice. They may dabble in the prospect of change, perhaps even entertain the idea of success as one would a fleeting visitor, but they never fully embrace the arduous process required to achieve it. They never fully commit themselves, never burn the boats, as the saying goes, signifying a point of no return. The Stoic philosophers, known for their unwavering resolve, held no patience whatsoever for this kind of wavering and indecision. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic figure, once posed the poignant question, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" This question, indeed, carries significant weight and should resonate deeply. The core message is that if you are not completely and utterly dedicated, you are, in effect, already halfway out the door, teetering on the edge of giving up. Here's the critical understanding: true commitment is devoid of glamour. It's not Instagrammable, meaning it doesn't lend itself to superficial displays of perfection, and it certainly doesn't come with an instant surge of dopamine or fleeting pleasure. Instead, it manifests as early mornings when no one else is around to witness your dedication. It's about persevering in the game even when your motivation has completely evaporated. It is, at its core, the unwavering declaration to yourself: I am doing this, come what may, regardless of the obstacles that arise to impede my progress. That, my friends, is genuine commitment, and that is where true power resides. Marcus Aurelius, another cornerstone of Stoic thought, frequently reminded himself, if it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. This type of internal monologue serves as a crucial tool to keep you moving forward, especially during those moments when the temptation to quit begins to feel overwhelmingly comfortable and appealing. Therefore, embrace the challenge, for through endurance comes strength. And let's not delude ourselves into believing that this path is paved with ease. It is not. Life inevitably presents challenges, rigorously testing your mettle and offering a plethora of justifications to surrender: exhaustion, setbacks, uncertainty, and apprehension. However, each instance of persevering through adversity serves to strengthen your determination. Consequently, you demonstrate to yourself that this unwavering commitment transcends a mere fleeting phase; it embodies the very essence of your being. Henceforth, eliminate all contingency plans and just-in-case scenarios. Emulate the burning of the ships, leaving only one path, the path forward, accessible. Therefore, if you are truly serious about your aspirations, make a definitive decision, not the kind uttered in hushed tones when unobserved, but rather the kind you embody daily, enduring discomfort, overcoming setbacks, and navigating periods of silence. Indeed, that is the true manifestation of commitment. Once you wholeheartedly commit, a profound transformation occurs, not because life suddenly becomes effortless, but because you cease retreating. And that fundamental shift, that is the genesis of everything. There inevitably arrives a pivotal juncture where introspection must transition into action. Prolonged planning, exhaustive preparation, and excessive overthinking transform into nothing more than sophisticated forms of procrastination. Perhaps this very moment represents that turning point for you, not on the morrow, not in the subsequent week, but precisely now. As the esteemed Marcus Aurelius eloquently stated, you could leave life right now. Thus, seize the present moment and embark on your journey without delay. This is where the true magic begins. Allow that principle to shape your actions, your words, and even your thoughts. That sense of urgency. It acts like a sharp knife, slicing through all the distractions and irrelevant chatter. The unvarnished truth is this: you don't require more hours in the day, you require more unwavering truth. And the deeper truth is, you are already prepared. You have always possessed the inherent capability. Discard the notion of waiting for inspiration to strike, abandon the pursuit of absolute clarity before taking action. These elements, motivation and clarity, tend to reveal themselves subsequent to your initial movement, not preceding it. The renowned Carl Jung, the esteemed Swiss psychiatrist, articulated it eloquently: you are what you do, not what you say you will do. A profoundly impactful statement, isn't it? This implies that today is not merely another inconsequential square on the calendar. Instead, it represents a pivotal vote, a vote cast for the person you are actively evolving into. Furthermore, each and every action you undertake serves as a brick, carefully placed within the foundation of that emerging identity. Therefore, the critical question arises: what will your choice be? To what aspiration will you finally dedicate yourself, committing wholeheartedly to its realization? Articulate it audibly, in a clear and confident voice. Commit it to written form, permanently etching it onto paper or screen. Share it openly in the comments, boldly declaring your intentions to the world. Reclaim it as your own, staking your claim to its manifestation. This is no longer a fleeting desire, a mere casual wish. This is a sacred vow made to yourself, a significant turning point in your journey. And the precise moment you externalize that crucial decision, something undeniably shifts within your being. You are no longer concealed behind the shield of uncertainty and doubt, rather, you are courageously stepping into the arena, ready to face the challenges and embrace the opportunities that lie ahead. The Roman philosopher Seneca wisely observed, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." His words resonate with timeless wisdom, urging us to cherish each precious moment. Let this very day, today, be the day you decisively cease the act of squandering your potential. Let today, this 24th day, be the day you definitively draw a line in the sand, proclaiming with unwavering conviction, "Enough is enough." Embrace the present, seize the moment, and embark on the journey of becoming the person you were always destined to be. Let this day be the genesis of a new you. The time for hesitation is over. Cease seeking external validation. Instead, embrace audacious and unwavering action, propelling yourself toward the vibrant existence you've long envisioned. This transcends mere enthusiasm, it's about seizing control and assuming complete responsibility for your destiny. Should you truly be prepared, genuinely committed to transforming your vision into reality, then grasp the reins of your life. Proceed with a measured, yet resolute pace, maintaining an unshakable determination. This present moment is uniquely yours, therefore, do not let it slip away unnoticed. Act decisively and with purpose. We extend our sincere gratitude for your presence within the community. Your engagement is highly valued. In the event that you are prepared to embark on a more profound exploration of Stoic principles and their practical applications, we invite you to select one of the thoughtfully curated videos now displayed on your screen. I anticipate the pleasure of continuing this journey with you there. This is an invitation, not just to watch, but to do. To translate the theoretical into the tangible. To sculpt the life you dream of, brick by brick, action by action. Seize the day, and let's build something extraordinary, together. Therefore, don't delay, the path to a more fulfilling life awaits.